No see. I have been away for quite some time. I have done a lot, I think, since the last time I recorded a video, which was last year sometime. I recently switched careers. I went into teaching English, still painting on the side. And now I am here in Morocco, where I'm currently trying to get a bit of painting done now. So I'm painting outdoors. Um, this I've actually done inside. This one was the plein air sketch that I did on site. So this was in a place in Rabat, which is currently where I'm staying. The place was called Casbah of the Udayas. I can't pronounce it, but I will work on my pronunciation later. But yeah, basically it's kind of built like, it's like an old part of the city, and it's kind of built like a small maze. It's not too large, so you can't really get lost in there. But I came down this street, and as I was walking down this street, I just came across this scene, and there was this dark door, this sort of reddish brown door, had some golden tones in it, and I knew that that was a scene that I wanted to paint. So I set up my easel, did the sketch. This was the one that I did on site, very quick. I don't really like to paint outdoors for too long. It's a bit hot, first of all. You also have a lot of people coming up to you, asking you questions, and it's nice that people are interested, but it is a bit distracting when you're trying to focus on the subject in front of you. So this was a very quick color sketch that I did, focusing purely on color. That's it. I'm not really interested in perspective. I'm not interested in proportion, composition a little bit, I suppose, but really just more interested in color, and just slapping it on there as quick as I can, mainly focusing on where the cool tones are and where the warm tones are. And then once I've got that information on my canvas, I bring it home, and then I work on the, I guess you could say, the final image. There's still a bit of work to be done on this, because I still have to do some more things in the background here. But really, I think the key thing with this painting and what I'm doing here is I'm trying to adhere to one of Richard Schmid's principles. If you've never heard of Richard Schmid, Google him, because his work is fantastic. I'm sure some of you watching might know some of his work, but he had this principle called the master color. And basically it's a color that you mix in with all of your mixtures. Okay, so what I used for this painting was Viridian. Viridian was used in pretty much every single color that you're seeing. It was used in the brown door, it was used in the white wall, even the sky, the trees, and even these purple tones. There's Viridian in all of this. And basically, what happens is when you use a master color and you try to mix it with all of your mixtures, it kind of ties the color palette together, and you won't get too lost when you're actually mixing color. It'll just help to control it a little bit. So if you have one dominant color that's in all of your mixtures, it's really going to help to kind of keep that subject under control when you're really trying to mix all of these different colors at once, because there's a lot going on in here. One thing that I really wanted to capture in the plein air sketch down here, you can see, was just how colorful the shadows were. When I was painting outside, there was these cast shadows on the walls and from the buildings. There were purples, golden tones. There was like this sort of golden yellow tone here. You have these deep blues, and I've got like these orange shadows on this door, but actually the shadow was much darker in real life. But I actually like this sort of burnt sienna tone. So maybe I'll fix this plein air sketch and maybe work with the colors that's already on there, see if I can do something with it. But basically, hello Shema, hello. Basically, when I came back to the studio, I really wanted to push those colors even further. And I think it's a really good idea to go outside and paint, because first of all, it will make you a better painter. I think the only way you can really get good at color is to paint outdoors, because nature is very confronting. And there's a lot going on. So if you can force yourself to paint outdoors, you will be bad at it at first. I was very bad at it. I still am bad at it. But that's kind of the fun, you know? But you will get better. You will certainly get better at it. But I think you have to really paint outdoors in order to improve your knowledge of color theory, because nature doesn't hold any punches back, you know? It throws everything at you, and then it's up to you to kind of organize your color palette. And another thing when you're painting outdoors is you realize that you can't mix every single color in the world. You know, you can't mix every single color that you're seeing. It's impossible. So it forces you to simplify the colors. And it forces you to, you know, we simplify our drawings, we simplify values, and color is no different. It forces us to simplify our colors. So when I took this sketch back to the studio, I had a look at some color charts that I whipped up, and I will bring one of them out here. So have a look at this color chart. This one was, the top one that you're seeing is the Viridian color chart. So these are all the colors on my palette. Viridian, lemon yellow, cadmium orange, cadmium red, quinacridone magenta, cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, alizarin crimson. Okay, that's what all of those initials are there. And this is my Viridian color chart. So when I use Viridian as the master color, and I mix it with all of the other colors on my palette, this is the, I guess, the colors that I'm going to get. And so when I looked at my sketch, and then I looked at my color charts, I thought to myself, well, it looks like there's a lot of these sort of Viridian tones in there, these sort of greenish tones. I could definitely use this sort of color palette. And that's what I went with. I have some other color charts as well. There's the yellow, sorry, this was lemon yellow. Okay, so these are all the colors mixed with lemon yellow. And then these are all the color combinations with cadmium red. Cadmium red, very strong color. They're all kind of similar, to be honest. It's a very dominant color. My focus gravitates towards the door. Well, that's good, because that's kind of what I wanted. That's where my focus was when I was painting outside. So on the color sketch, that's really what caught my eye, was this door, and it was framed by this white wall, white ground, and then you had these shadows on the edge here. And these light shapes, I'll zoom in a little bit. These light shapes are kind of framing that door. And then the shadows also help to, I think, push your attention to the door there. So if your focus is gravitating towards the door, then that's a good thing, because that's really what I wanted to capture. And another thing, I think another reason why your eye is coming to the doorway is because if you have a look at this side of the painting, all of my brush strokes, very blurry, very sort of, I guess you could say blended. I try not to blend too much. The reality is I'm just mixing a lot of different colors of similar value, and I'm just trying to sort of merge them together, I suppose. But if you come to the doorway and the windows, very sharp edges, very clean edges. So our eye is kind of drawn to sharp edges, okay? So if you're going to use a sharp edge in your painting, you have to do that very deliberately. You have to make sure that's what you want, because if you use a sharp edge, that's where the viewer's eye is going to go. And yet you can see those sharp edges in those cast shadows in the window as well. But another thing is that you have this very dark value against this, perhaps the brightest value in the entire painting. And so you also have contrast of value. So there's contrast of edges, and there's also contrast of values. And another way you can create contrast is to put your warm colors next to cool colors. I'm trying to find an example of where I've done that. I mean, obviously there's the sky, and then the sky is right up against this very warm, creamy yellow building. So there's a bit of contrast there. But I did make sure to kind of soften the edge a little bit, because I didn't want the viewer's eye to stay up there. I kind of want to bring the viewer down here a little more. So, yeah, I'm going to continue painting a little bit more while I'm here in Morocco. I'm going to explore a bit more of the city, and after Rabat, I'll be off to Marrakesh, where there's some beautiful architecture by the looks of it. Very big markets and medinas, and I guess I'll just have to see what's out there, but I will definitely be bringing my easel, and I'll be painting what I see. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful in terms of color. So the viewer's eye is going to gravitate towards that. Softer edges means the viewer's eye will kind of move away from that. Very, very useful to use soft edges in your shadows, because that's where you want the colors to melt. And also the master color, okay? Try and think of a dominant color, okay? So in this case, I use Viridian in all of my mixtures. If you want to paint like a really warm scene, maybe you want to use yellow ochre or even like a red. Guess it just depends on the subject that you want to paint. But anyway, I'm going to leave this video here, and I'm going to get ready for bed and have something to eat, because I am very tired. Apologies again for not posting for a very long time. Life kind of took me in a bit of a different direction, which is perfectly fine. It's been an interesting ride, so I guess I'll see where it takes me. But I'll be sure to post any other paintings that I do while I'm in Morocco. So anyway, hopefully this video was of some use to you. Till next time.